okay now or a little bit more? Alright. What is going on, guys? David Game here, back with another stream. This one is our third game. We couldn't do it yesterday, but I made a list of games that I was going to stream, so this is the third game. We're going to be playing some Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth. We're going to be doing investigations. I do not know how far we'll go with Ace Attorney Prosecution 2. We'll see how it goes. But other than that, we're going to be in the courtroom, putting out verdicts, either being the prosecutor or the defense. I don't actually know on this one, because I'm going to be Miles Edgeworth, so I don't know if he is a prosecutor or a defense attorney, but we will find out. Anyways, guys, if you enjoy the content that you do see, make sure you follow my Twitch, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Anyways, guys, let's join the courtroom. Ooh, which one do we want? Do we want HD or pixel art? We're gonna do it with HD, you know, we're gonna do it with HD. Yes. We're gonna start with episode 1. Already got our first achievement. Everything old is new. For playing the game with HD. March 14, 1:16 AM, unknown. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. No. A murder in my office! I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. Damn. We just watched a murder right in front of us. March 14. This is like every NCIS. 2:05 AM. Prosecutor's building, 12th floor hallway. Oh, there's me. Miles Edgeworth coming in. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. The door is unlocked. Very strange. Detective Gumshoe. What's this smell? It's very familiar. Blood? I need to just quickly turn on something. Oh my god, my room's dark. Where's the light switch? Dead body. But what the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze! Who's got me at gunpoint? Identify yourself. Shut up. You got some nerve committing murder in the prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. Very clear. I want you to listen here. Very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. You hear me? You gangster punk. Yeah, be afraid. Be afraid. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into a multitude of cases and some very frantic and busy days. Finally, the police are here. My painting of my great suit, how dare they? I've finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Oh, that's the thread. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. This is kind of cool. Gives you that 3D kind of vibe. I'm looking around. Ah! Mr. Edgeworth, sir, are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. Detective Gumshoe. When I heard that murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct. And the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. I need a drink. Let me just open a can real quick. You're looking a little pale, sir. You hurt. I mean, I was frightened, so... But I would understand. No, I'm perfectly fine. However, actually, to be honest, let me retake that. Looking a little pale is kind of what Edgeworth kind of does in most of his Ace Attorney games. You always look pale. Look what they did to your office. It's totally trash. I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa, sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is in my responsibility to solve it. Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. I'm gonna real quickly just check. Okay, this is... Oh, this is cool. Cause what was that? I don't know if that was me or... Just see... Oh, okay, I see. Okay, no man, I see. But this is kind of cool because in the other Ace Attorney games, you have a badge for being a defense attorney. In this, you have a prosecutor badge. Proof of my profession, however, I prefer to keep it in my pocket. I don't know who you are. Oh, you're the victim in this case. Why was he killed in my office? And we got Dick Gumshoe, homicide detective at the local precinct in charge of the initial investigation. Very good, very good. Okay, time to investigate. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Crime scene, my office. Is it really a coincidence that the murder took place in my office? Ooh, this is a nice, interesting way of it. And LB is to get evidence. I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Crime scene. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially, I'm trying to think of voices. Like, Miles Edgeworth would be like a toned down, like, calm. No, not really. Especially because of this. To your office. For security reasons, this office door has a lock built into it. The office door. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. Oh, sorry, let me rephrase. And connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. No, I'm just gonna read it normally. I can't be doing that voice. It feels like a sin to be doing a voice like that. So how do you use it? First, I recall the information we've gathered with LB. Then I connect them together with Y. Let me think here. Now to use LB and recall the facts. Let me use my brain here. Logic. So we got the crime scene in my office. We got the office key. We connect the dots. For security reasons, all prosecutor doors... Oh, I got an achievement for successfully making a connection. Yeah, let's go. First one. For security reasons, all prosecutor doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss this location of this crime scene as a mere coincidence. Let me have a sip. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? The killer's goal. Why did this happen in my office, and what was the killer after? Okay. Well, we had someone behind us shoot the wall with a safe. Maybe they wanted my safe. They wanted money. You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's a beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to that conclusion, only the truth remains. I feel like I'm gonna lose myself, so I do apologize. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir. Begin investigation. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything. I know that, and when I want to examine something, I simply use A when I'm next to it. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use Y, okay? I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, so. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Always. Oh, okay. I pressed Y. About investigating. I assume you understand how to conduct investigation. Of course, yeah. Examine anything and everything with a... Okay, this is just giving a tutorial. By checking various things out, we can gather all sorts of evidence and information. You can see the evidence you collected with RB. For information and leads, it's LB. That's it. It's called deductive reasoning. That's clearly something you lack. Alright. Noticing. Do you notice anything? Is there anything you notice that you'd like to share, Detective Gumshoe? Just I rushed over here as soon as I heard there was a murder in your office, sir. The investigation's just gotten started, so I guess there's not much else to say. So, were you the one that found the body, Mr. Edgeworth? Unfortunately, upon my return, I found my office door to be unlocked. And what awaited me inside was this whole messy affair. Ouch, that's rough. Even though I left the security of this room to a certain detective. Sorry, sir. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. You did your best. Ooh, gun. I must investigate. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun. I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model. I think. Detective, I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by this precinct's detectives. Okay, interesting. Found at the crime scene, it's the same model as those used by precinct detectives, so we could be having a cop. Ouch, they even knocked over your chess set! I had it all set up ready for when you got back. I figured we could play a few games. I keep, like, forgetting who to do, roughly. I had no idea you were interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try. In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve this case. Though I don't expect games to tax my mental acuity much. Edgeworth seems like a nice guy. He likes to work well with Detective Gumshoe. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Alright, what do we got? We got bloody hands. Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. Looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, so. In other words, he was shot. Yep. And until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. The body was found around 2:05. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. Ooh, okay. I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to press RB to open my organizer. Oh, okay. And then this is the evidence. Okay. The victim right here. Although that doesn't look like him. He doesn't have a thing right there. But okay, sure. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Yes, as reminded. Right, so this is the body. My books! Your files are all over the floor, sir! They probably fell during a struggle between the victim and this killer. My files are a mess, pointing to a struggle between the victim and the killer. Oh, and I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day, every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it's sparked. Does he have a life? He really respects. Wait a minute, what's that? I don't believe it. I packed those files on these shelves so tight. There's writing. Look right there. You see that? There's writing on the books. But one of the books is missing. That not even an earthquake could make them fall off. But just look at them. At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all. Probably to be sure. But once the investigation is over, we'll put them back up on the shelf. There's writing! I see the writing! Move his body! Alright, let's grab the obvious thing and grab his phone. Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, he's a cop. I'm sorry I'm yawning, it's a little early. So I'm just slowly waking up. Oh hey, I have the exact same thing. Actually, what a coincidence. Let's take a look inside. Ah, he's a detective. Mr. Buddy Faith. Police Department, Buddy Faith. He's a detective. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. According to this badge and ID, Buddy Faith was a precinct detective. Seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Let's think here. Logic. The killer's goal. Signs of struggle. We'll do the victim was a detective and the revolver. Let's connect them. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see what we have got here. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Ah, there we go. We used logic. Victim's revolver. It can be assumed that this gun is the murder weapon. It was issued to the victim. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, you've got to look really carefully at each piece of evidence. Use right stick to rotate. There's no such thing as bad angle. Use left LB and RB to zoom in and out to get nitty gritty. Okay, well, I can already see that there is... I can already see that one... Let's check the bullets. One shot, one bullet. Looks like only one round was fired from the... Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wresting the gun from him. Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. I guess this is about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to our top... Jim! Who the hell are you? Oh, why? Oh, why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Who the hell are you? Although we know you're the killer. Are you alright? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh. Look at him! Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Jim. His name's not Jim. It is... Buddy Faith. I'm sure, just in the bloodstained suit, pal. Unless if Jim is like a nickname. Well, we saw you're the killer. But why? Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Oh, he's a prosecutor. Why, yes, I am. I'm Jackie's Porchman, prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime buster. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I'm also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office. Yes, that is correct. Then it was you. You're the one who killed Jim. Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. High prosecutors, office doors, all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time. Okay, so the only one who could get in here was me. Oh. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. Gumshoe, don't think about it. You're making yourself look like a criminal here. So it was you then. You're Jim's killer. No way, pal. You got it all wrong. Everyone calm down. Mr. Postman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know? Anyway, let's call it truce and work together, okay? And how about a handshake to seal the deal? I don't do handshakes, bro. A pleasure to work with you. You guys were conducting your investigations, right? Sorry for bothering him like that. Carry on then. It's your room after all. Thank you, I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there? So... I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. I should probably give them some space. Check the safe. Ah, your jacket, sir! What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in. What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, detective. Not when there's something more here. Well, like what? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Is there? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. But I have my own methods and I will conduct this investigation my way. I think he's talking about Phoenix. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. The safe? This jacket sure brings back memories. I remember you used to wear this around the time you became a certified prosecutor. It was a present from my mentor, Prosecutor Manfred von Kammer. Huh. Yes, I don't wear it anymore, yet I can't bring myself to throw it away. It must mean a lot to you, even with the little bit of sweet memories it holds. Ah, but you know, I've got an old coat of mine hanging up in the room too, sir. Yesterday was laundry day, so it's just drying off, but you get the picture. Alright, let's look at the bullet. This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point at the cursor and press Y with the conviction. Deduce. The bullet. And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. Like Postman, a high prosecutor with this prosecutor's office, it's my first time speaking with him. The gun. Wait a minute, so it can't be. Wait, yeah. You know, that's true, that is a contradiction. It can't be the victim's revolver because the bullet was used to shoot the wall. So, someone else had this gun. Eureka! There we go. Eureka! This bullet hole is a contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame. Hey, that's right! However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too! Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? Other than the victim's gun that I found, could there be another gun in front of him? By the way, I know something, sir. Yes. What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, that's a secret safe. Secret safe? Oh, I smell money! I'll spare us the trouble and just say nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you can kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that. Achoo, achoo! Talk about dusty. I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here, or I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So where did you put this thing in? That wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. That's it. Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. Secret safe data jolted down. Each prosecutor has one in their office, only they know of them in trial evidence use. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. It's dusty. It looks like something's been interfered. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad, don't you find it a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist? Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area with the fingerprint? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. All of the fingerprints on this have been wiped clean off. So someone went in my safe. Each prosecutor has one. Only they know them. Prints were wiped. As I thought. It appears that logic is the only way to around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. Alright. Alright, let's think here. Let's think here. Logic. Okay. Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer office? The killer's goal. Something to do with the white fingerprints. There we go. I believe I figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that this safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. The culprit tried to open my safe. Was the killer's motive theft? I wonder if knowing that motive behind this break-in was fair. Changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. Motive. The culprit tried to open my safe. Was the killer's motive fair? Let's try a signs of struggle. This may be wrong. There's a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of the struggle between the victim and his killer. Yes. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something? Precisely. I need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir. I'm gonna shelve files. Yes, sir. I'm gonna shelve files like you've never seen before, even at a library. I'm sure. Let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament the dead will not come back to life, all we can do is search for the truth. And so, what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? You moving out the way. First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it. Here, let me help. So this file goes here, and that book goes there. You should know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay? Done. Have a nice sip. Okay, it would appear that the murderer was definitely committed here. The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And when the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor kinda grossing me out. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. But you know I'm no good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with the picture. There's a bullet. There's a bullet right there. I can see it. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Yeah, because it went clean through. There's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down? So that would be illogical. The victim leaned against the shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption, and it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem? A, B, C, D, E. The files A, B, C, D. The position of the body. If the victim was shot while he was lying down... Wait, didn't you just say that the line of reasoning is illogical, sir? You said the victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot. I was trying to be nice and explain my complex logic in an easier way for you, detective. Oh, really? Thanks for thinking of me, sir. Good, I don't think he knows my mistake. Oh, that was a mistake? Assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole. Order of the files? I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh? Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot begun with the number 0? Oh, so that means they were up top. While I was doing all the way down now after 1, 2, 3. That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye, but the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Ah, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. You think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Cumberbatch. Ah. Yeah, so he was shot. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith, and then put the files back in numerical order. Exactly, and then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man, then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime, but why? Well, as we can see on the right, there's a message now that we've moved his body. Time to give it another look. It's missing this. What is that? Why does it say gumshoe on there in blood? I'd say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me say something, sir. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? One of the files that were written upon in blood was stolen by the culprit. Investigation complete. Oh, okay, nice. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you going to do? what I always do in court. I'm gonna cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Ooh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? Might as well. Alright, first, I listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open my organizer and present the piece. To present something, I simply use, but that's old news. But it's not like there's going to be a flaw in their testimony every time, right? Correct. Those times I need to press the witness with LB. Sometimes by pressing, I can draw out new information and new or modified testimony. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations too. Very well. I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. Here we go. We're not even in a courtroom. This is an argument. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed the theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be his final words that you will be brought to justice. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer? I can hear Jim's voice and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I'll find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. Right, let's just have a look at the evidence beforehand. We got bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. Issued the victim and believes the murder weapon. Only one shot fired. Each prosecutor has one in their office. Only they know of them. Prints were wiped. One of the files that were written upon in blood was stolen by the culprit. Okay. Alright. Mr. Portsman's locked. Rebuttal. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Hold it! I press. You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Fake? Isn't it obvious Jim is the perfect name for my companion? Jackie's and Jim, don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jelly? But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name. But Jackie's and Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim. He talks about the victim like he was his pet. However, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelf twice to do that? That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft. Oh, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? It's a possibility. Maybe your salary has been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle. I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but poor thing, what an evil prosecutor you were paired up with, and what a motive, no? That's when you move Jim's body. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters. That will be his final words that will be brought to justice. I need to press him on everything. Hold it! Press. And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Because the body was getting in his way. What was that? Bullet went clean through one of the files that were written. Hold it! Press. Why do you think the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say that's how he missed it? But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for the detective to miss it. Who do you think you are? You know nothing about the pal. There's a lot of person can understand about another from first impressions alone. I can't say I disagree with him on that point. Why don't you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth. Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I could prove it with evidence. Yep, that is correct, because one is stolen. One is missing, so they obviously have seen it. For the game finishing spike. Yep, no, so his thing is flawed. One's stolen, so it's flawed. One has been stolen, so they know the letters. This isn't they intentionally took one. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Here, bringing a bit of courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me. Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible. What's impossible, Mr. Portman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spine. It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written. The missing letters in the detective's names where the file should be is proof. Yeah, I mean the S is gone, and there's only half and hate. If Detective Gumshoe really has the culprit... If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Ah! Damn, it's... Bruh, like, head back like he just got headshotted or something with the gas. Ah! Which means what exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. Get headshotted, please. That's so low. I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Sportsman. Ha ha ha. Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. Man, you win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. Everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however. What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. What the fuck? That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Man is debating whether to take off his jacket or off, man. Like, he put it on, now he's like, come on, bro. Well, I was thinking, did you know there is one other person with a key to this office? One other person. Yeah, take off your jacket. Hey, you there? Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? I'm about to say, I haven't talked to you. A lady. The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't. What's wrong with him all of a sudden? I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Beard, a member of security. The Detective Gumshoe, sir. Maggie. Mr. Bird is a security guard on watch tonight. I see, and your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building. But what? If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Beard. How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right, I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right, I did it. Can we take that as a confession, Detective? Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. Put on your jacket or take it off. I'm gonna burn that jacket, if anything. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Which is what? Reasons for suspicion. It's pretty obvious that Mr. Beard snuck... But I can't say... I'm just gonna call it Miss Bird. Miss Bird. I'm just gonna call it Miss Bird. I can't pronounce that. Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. So you're saying that she used the master key, which we've now got as evidence, down incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more detail is to press him. Okay. Rebuttal. I'm gonna press him. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck in. Why? Why? Tell me. Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to. What's that supposed to mean? Yes, moving on. I hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean, unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. But you can't really trust her not to tell lies, plus I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Bird out? Yes, also more details. Not so fast. I too am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear lies. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 AM, sir. What do you mean by missing? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir. If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. A likely story, and where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it, then found it again. I never lose things, I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. But, you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Okay, so we got that. The key was stolen. Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried to save. It is as Miss Portsman says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own. I'm gonna press this. I may be wrong, but I'm going to press this because her intent from the messed up shells to the wiped down safe, I'd say thievery. But the secret safe, it's literally secret. Each prosecutor has one in their office and only they know of them. Objection! So I'm gonna call that out because only they know. Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe, the existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. Ah! Headshot! I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was a part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah, he's eating his metal. It's made out of chocolate. Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. Getting shy. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? I get headshot. Curses! Why? What made you? What's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safe. What did you just say? We were partners like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him I filled him in on the secret safes. Then that means... Yeah, I know, I had only just told him to... Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief. And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird. Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder? Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even... Hold on. Not even as a security guard, sir. Let me just grab some food. Grabbing a bag of chips. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to this office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind to see yourselves out? You can't kick us out of this. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. But I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You are all suspects to varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run this show. Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But sir, we have no choice but to accommodate his request for now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Scum. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from the crime scene, it would be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman, we will meet again. If that's a formal request from a legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, you hear? To be continued. Yes. Also, let's save. We are gonna continue this. We're not gonna end it. We're gonna do the first episode. We're gonna do them episodes. March 14, prosecutor's building, 12th floor hallway. What is it with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable. Please maintain your professionalism, detective. I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir. But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir. True. So then what now? Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway. Really, sir? For example, this hallway. The lengthening of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is a perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my goal. Begin investigation. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Although, now that I look at it closely, that looks like a folder. That looks like a folder. It's, isn't that the missing series file, sir? No doubt about it, the bloody letters mark it clear as day. There seems to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind. So what are these zero files about, sir? I guess they've got something worth stealing in them. Not particularly, it's just a collection of court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine. They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were. Then that means the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right? It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing. I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case. Can't go any further. A well-crafted, high-quality sofa for visitors to seeing exactly. Talk about a luxury waiting area, these babies are also great for napping, you know. You would sleep even out here, detective, in the hallway? Whenever I do, I always wind up dreaming about giving testimony up on the stand. But it always ends the same way, me getting trounced by a lawyer. Isn't that awful? Maybe I should give it a try sometime to envision myself winning naturally. Okay, so that's been checked. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Let's look at the lock. And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, so meaning that the door really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if there were any prints lifted from the door? Apparently the door knob's clean as a whistle, right, they think. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. My number. Claim this to be my office. Whoops, these number plates slide right out, so they have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant. Although, the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of a minimalist yet classy door made top quality wood. Top quality! Near impossible to break in by force. It's almost majestic, sir. I wish I could be as stately as this door. Only Gumshoe would praise a door as something greater than himself. Being a detective has its own rewards and a certain virtuous value, I think. If you live up to your full potential, that's a poignant trait that anyone could admire. I see. You're saying, sir, that me being me is the best thing I can do for everyone. Right. That long pause wasn't exactly reassuring, so no problem. Basketball. What is this basketball doing here? That's Mr. Portman's prized possession, sir. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis. And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. Is everything alright? Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning, and I'm finally at 154 pounds. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway and in this room. Oh, everything's okay, sir. A word of advice. Stay focused on you, or you may start to lose even more weight. Looks like you're in quite a pinch, Mr. Edgeworth. To be sure, a murderer within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer according to post-haste. Sounds like a messy case you've got on your hands. You prosecutor Butt? No, never mind. I forgot the name. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open. How gracious. I'll keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again? I completely forgot myself. Don't worry. I forgot too, Edgeworth. What is this basketball hoop doing here? Hey, didn't this used to be just outside and next to the building a long time ago? So when and why was it moved indoors? I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Drag it? I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself. Alright, all the way up to the 12th floor. This office. 1203. 1203. Hey Maggie, whose room is this again? Mr. Portman, sir. So he's my neighbor. I suppose he moved in while I was away overseas. Can I enter or what? So if I can look at this, what am I missing? I bet the thief's not under here. I guess there isn't enough space for anyone to hide under here anyway. If someone could contort themselves to fit, it'd be really impressive. It's already tried at least once before. The stolen file, but what's it doing under here? Yeah, why would you steal something and then leave it behind? Thief took only what was needed. Yep. Yeah, okay, so we went through this. We went through this already, they were 10 years ago. Let me try and think. Files in disarray. Other than the victim's gun that I found, could there be another gun in play here? The culprit rearranged my files twice, once before and once after the murder. Why? Let's try, just in case. You never know. No, it didn't work. The pieces don't fit together quite right. Yeah, even I'd question that on that logic. What am I missing? Okay, so that's fully checked. Maybe I need to talk to Maggie. Because everyone's been checked. Maggie, I need to talk to you. I was wondering if I might speak with you for a bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of the courtroom. But this is like a dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth. I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing my notes to her with why. The victim. Have you ever met the victim before? Well, I've seen him a couple times before when I had to go to Mr. Portman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portman. That sounds like fun. Just once I'd love to play with them. It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portman. all Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, so on the second floor, I don't think I'd have fit in all that well with them. It's Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you are an acquaintance of the detective. She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, so one day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit. But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night. You got caught up in a whirlwind of the case, right? Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of food, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. You are the definition of bad luck! And now I've even managed to be named a criminal just when I've become a security guard. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. I know, and just when I thought I had finally found my happiness, I wound up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck. You don't need to worry about me, Mr. Bird, nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation. Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth, you can count on me. I'll do as I can to help. So when did you discover that the master key was missing? By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 AM. And I noticed it was back around 2:30 AM. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those two times, it was not just gone, but stolen, sir. Okay. Why is such an important key stored in an insecure place? It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say, except for this time, correct? Well, I admit that was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge. She used the master key. Okay. What did you use it on? What did you mean by you used the master key? Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten this key. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? Ah! What is it? That's right, I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portman, sir. What? Please tell me more, Miss Bird, quickly. It was around 12 AM. Mr. Portman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir. And that's when you loaned the master key to him. No way, it's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portman to his office, opened the door for him, personally, sir. I see. And then what happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 AM, I think. So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, he used the master key twice tonight. This key was used to unlock and lock Portman's office at 12 AM to 1:30. Talk about suspicious. I doubt you can say that you've never left your keys at home, Detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsmouth's door. Mr. Portsman! I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking detail. Look at the key. The door is locked tight. I bet the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, Mr. Edgeworth? This is the office of a high prosecutor. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them. So I guess only a great cat burglar can get in. That must be who our culprit is. Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you brought it from? Okay. What about this? Room 1203. I take it that this is Mr. Portsman's office. Yeah, you can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop, so. That reminds me, Mr. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door. So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202? I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd. Yep, that's gotta be it. I can't think of another reason why. I can think of it as free, but why am I even wasting time thinking about this? Mr. Portsman's personal basketball hoop. I can't believe he put something like this in the hallway of the prosecutor's office. But you know, it's actually pretty useful, so. I haven't gotten lost trying to get to your office since it's been here. How long have I had the same office and yet you still managed to get lost? That is a good question. A minimalist yet classy door made top-quality wood. It's kind of majestic too. Yep. Seems dignified just because the work's behind one of these. Nonsense. A man doesn't become more or less dignified because of the way he works. Well, he still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne. Mr. Payne, I suppose custodial work can also be dignified. What am I missing? Did I check his number? Anything of interest? No. Let me think. This key was used to unlock Portsman's office at 12 AM to 1:30. This key went missing approximately 1 AM until 2:30. There we go. Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No way, pal. I mean, sure. You said that you locked up Miss Portsmouth's office at around 1:30, correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Wow, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. I had totally forgotten all about that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right, it was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing. And, well, I am a security guard, so I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So, I pretended to lock up his room, so. You pretended? Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, so. So, and actually, you never did relock the door, then. That means the door is unlocked as we speak. Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Oh my god, that means the door's not locked. We can go inside. To the office! No, the wrong thing. Wrong thing. We can go inside. Go, go! Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold?
Eureka!
Yeah, there's a contradiction here between reality and the evidence. If what Miss Birch has said is true, then why is this door locked tight? Huh? You know you're right. Actually, to be honest, I didn't even know that. Oh wait, yeah, I inspected it. This is when you need to pay attention. Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door? I am certain of it, sir. I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't. Which means what, sir? It even means that he actually does have the key to his office. Or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one. He opened a different door, but how can you prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is... we need to examine these. The prints on the number plate. The prints on the number plate, they will tell us all we need to know. Everything? Really? Like what, sir? Like, well, for example, in such a... come on! Good that comes dinner will only consist of instant noodles. Wow, that was amazing, sir. How did you know? Was that supposed to be a joke to cheer me up, Miss Edgeworth? Yes, that's it. Now then, we should get back to doing what we need to do, and that is... some of these. No, this... One of these. I thought it would be prints on the number plate because I would think he would switch them. As we just said, they can be easily taken off when people are vacant. We'll do the prints on the master key. That's what you want to examine, sir. That was the very first thing we did. I can tell you that we didn't find any prints other than Maggie's. Damn it! Okay, the doorknob. So what can we deduce from that? Ah, well, I'll tell you what I deduced. I think this means that the culprit wiped their prints out. Very good job. Yes, that's exactly it. I'm glad you were able to come to the same conclusion. However, the more important matter is, we need to examine these prints on the doorknob. God damn it. Prints on the doorknob will tell us everything. Hey, you Proud. Do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? So what did you find out? No need for such belligerent nostril flaring, detective. So I found only Mr. Portsman's and Mr. Face prints on this doorknob. So only two people's prints were found on this. That's pretty decisive. I'm lost, sir. Thinking logically, a certain other person's print should be on this knob as well. Maggie's. Now now then, whose print should also be on this doorknob? Maggie. Yeah, Maggie. I don't know why I don't call her Maggie. That's her name. But I just keep going with her second name with Bird. Maggie should be on the prints. Oh, Maggie should be on the doorknob as well. Don't you find it odd that the prints on the person who unlocked this door are absent? You mean... yes, the door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one. But a different one. Mr. Portsman's office. Miss Bird says she unlocked this door, but her prints were not found on the doorknob. What have we here? Drag marks? Ooh. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. There's a note there in the basketball. Is this basketball property of Mr. Portsman? Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match. Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis. It doesn't matter what sport it is, he's game. Although I think it'd be a little hard to play tennis with this ball. Oh. That isn't the point you should be focusing on, detective. You're right, sir. Now I know what I should be focusing on. Bad Mr. Portsman. Someone should teach him to clean his toys up after he's done playing. I think we've reached the end of this conversation. That note. What is this? Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. It looks like a note from the victim. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up to you later. Yeah, and it's for Mr. Portsman. Note left by the victim. 3 pieces of evidence. Nope, nothing there. Uh-huh. Just gonna say the same thing. Right, but what is it? Other than that, we gotta know. Oh, wait. Oh, this was moved. Ah, that explains it. This was moved. What's this? What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, how about a game? That's okay, detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off. Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk. Yes. Positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I better take note of this. There are signs that have been moved. Okay, got it. The hoop was moved in front of ours to look like. Poking around in this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. Huh? How so, sir? In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit in this case. You know who the killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as my logic is sound, then yeah. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. What? Mr. Portsman? I knew it. That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me too. I suspected it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. That is anything but logical. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come what may, it's time to knock on Truth's door. Oh, on my door. March 14, I prosecutor office room. Mr. Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letters, sir. Alright, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of this. What is that? Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe. I had a line for you, Portsman. We got you now. Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. It's some kind of joke. It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jackie Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case. Oh, he's now serious. You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay if you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job. I can see right through the unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Who'd have thought it would have come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know? Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours is for now explaining yourself. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper either way. Your game is up. Well, aren't we full of ourselves even though you have yet to prove anything? I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how may I ask do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. Sorry, but we're not finished yet. Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusation on something. I'll show you what I'm basing my accusations on. With evidence. Portsman's rebuttal. Brain idea you have in mind, but...
Hold it!
Push it. My accusation is a harebrained idea, is it? You tell me, I'd say it is, after all. There's a mountain of evidence that points away from you being the culprit. Show it. Oh, and what, pray tell, kind of evidence are we talking about? Guillaume was my partner, so you can't say I had a motive for killing him. And that's it? That's not even an anthill, let alone a mountain. But it's more than enough, wouldn't you agree? I'd recommend that you review what the word evidence means. It doesn't change the fact that the evidence doesn't point to me as the killer. I'm gonna just quickly check my evidence. Sitting in front of Portsmouth office, our signs has been moved. Found under the door for the urgent. How may I ask do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? I want to present either this or this. I don't know which one though. Let me first push it. Unfortunately, I believe I have already shown how earlier. Your spectacular mean nothing, as I still insist that I could not have gained access to your room. Should I raise an objection? Yes, raise an objection. You claim to have had no way to open my door. However, is that really the honest truth? Haha, alright, I'll humor you. Go ahead, shoot. Very well, and I propose that you use this to open my door.
Take that!
Key. I believe you were able to open my office door with the master key. Wait, hold on for a second. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely, you were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right, you used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key. This person. You had asked Miss Maggie to open your own office door for you, yes? Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know? But the room you had Maggie open at the time was not your own, was it? What? You have quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure it was opening the right door, sir. See? Maggie backs up my story. Yet what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted? And how do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on our doors, for example? That's right, they do slide out pretty easily. Furthermore, you then used one other thing to give a very strong impression that the door she was opening was yours and not in fact mine. What was it that Mr. Portman used to make Miss Bride think that it was his room? The basketball.
Take that!
Yes, the basketball hoop. The basketball hoop, sir. It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor. Ah, headshot! That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door was opening had to be Mr. Portsman. There are signs that the hoop has been moved to sit in front of my office, to be sure. I see, so that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. Ooh. Conjecture's rebuttal. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had to go open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. I do though, actually. So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? The note is a contradiction. It said that you're out, I guess. I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket, and Miss Maggie is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. My jacket's not dirty, I'll have you know I just washed it yesterday. Please calm down, for I intend to show who the one truly covered in slime here. Rebuttal. Yep, I got it. I know what to do. I just spout nonsense. I had to go open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. Nope, this one. You weren't. Found under the door for the absent.
Objection!
You were not in your room. That was a lie. What are you talking about? How was that a lie? This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portman. A note? It was left under your door, or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you're out. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then where were you, and what were you doing? Ah! Headshot! That's gonna be like a reoccurring thing every time with this guy. Headshot! Shall I explain it in full detail for you? You were busy snooping around in my room, the very room you had Miss Maggie open for you. Objection! That's just nonsense. You have no evidence that I made the girl open your door for me. Oh, but I do. I have very decisive evidence. No way! Headshot! This is proof positive that you had Maggie open the door for you. Right here.
Take that!
The proof is that in the doorknob there's nothing. I had your door dusted for print. My door? No, what for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You're right, I didn't find anything. And definitely not Miss Maggie's prints. Her prints, what do they have to do with anything? Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Ah! Headshot! Further, all the prints on my office doorknobs have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it. Miss Bird, Miss Maggie, whatever. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? You know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because you heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Miss Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said, when you had the gun to my back. No one gets away with committing murder in my office. Man's lost his mind. I can't fucking be bothered. And just what's so funny, pal? Oh, his clean jacket. Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of his office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world. What? Said we'll just explain it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's also circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints. Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that knob down well. I'm a little obsessive compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched. Which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim and my own prints would be on there. You made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example. Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse. Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. Ah, but you can't prove that, can you? Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here. Sorry, I was just checking away. Horseman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? I only just realized I had one as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner. What's this airtight alibi? Memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 AM, correct? It was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly what time I was down in criminal affairs, ask around, I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's a perfect alibi. Do you really think that it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself. Detective Gumshoe. Sir, yes sir. I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsmouth said. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him at around 2 AM. You see? All of the evidence points to him being the culprit. So there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. Yep. Portsman's alibi. Fiction, the body was found at around 2:05. Nope, wrong button.
Hold it!
Oh no. You are correct, it was around 2 AM. Are you sure it's really important to me that you're spot on with the time? I remember checking my watch then and make no mistake, it was 2. Ooh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2. It was then that you had an unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. It is as you say, however... Yes, however, you are the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw? It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see. Oh, come now, I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you? I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here. Oh well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. But at exactly what time... Is that anything? So you paid the Criminal Affairs Department a visit. Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct.
Hold it!
Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony. And it was just as I said, right? Yes, a number of detectives said that they saw you around that time. That's the ace I had up my sleeve. Ugh! Impossible. He actually does have the perfect alibi. What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on his face? Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? Nothing in... No evidence by the looks of it. Yeah, I think we've reached the end of our line and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there. Sir. Please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle. Maggie. Detective Gumshoe. Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt in his alibi? Mr. Portsman's alibi. The intruder I met could not have been Mr. Portsman, then who could it have been? I need to calmly think this through one more time with logic. Mr. Portsman's alibi. Other than the victim's gun that I found, could there be another gun in play then? Connect them. There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life, and one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person, which could mean there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. Maybe the victim and his killer weren't the only visitors to my office. Another visitor. Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issues of why my shelves were appended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder, so it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it, and once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back...
Objection!
Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case. Great, so you finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth? Sir, what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case. What do you mean? The person I ran into was just your average thief. A thief? But sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts? Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office. I feel like they say stole. I feel like they mean stormed. More than stole, but okay. 2 culprits stormed into my office tonight. I'm gonna go with that. What do you mean, 2? It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice, and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Miss Maggie and gained entry into my office. Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know? If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for me now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time. So then this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right? Correct. And then just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith? Why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir? Probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right. And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into this office to check it out. Correct, and as a detective, that was the right thing to do. When he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. Ooh. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind. You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that? Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated. There was another visitor, sir? Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portman left the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize. The stolen zero file, right, sir? Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter. So the shells getting messed up twice, and the two bullets, it was all because two different people were doing those things at two different times. Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief and was not in fact Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant, because we now know that the murder took place during the first couple's visit. Ooh. Hehehe. What's so funny, pal? Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything. Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth, after all. But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which was withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there is still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. No evidence at all. Your superstition that I was the first visitor. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir. I can, but he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. But it has to have been because... Oh, but then again... Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must. Know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is it that person's not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. Ooh, okay. This one's alibi part 2. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room, and when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs, so I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. So you think we should be out there looking for the thief? Of course, now isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions. I don't think it's at all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I know he's lying. I know he was here at the same time. I just have to find a way to prove it. Okay. Anything... we're gonna check that. The horse engraved. His weapon's gone. Did we check? Oh, that's a cool looking bag. Okay.
Hold it!
He's deflecting. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Why not? That's elementary, the dying message, of course. Mr. Faith's killer very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. And it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them. You mean the 0 files, right? And that's how we also know the letters themselves were set up and not from Mr. Faith. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves? Maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Headshot. Yes, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe. We should be out there looking for that thief right now.
Hold it!
Still be nearby. Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby. Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after. Oh, you talk like you know quite a bit about this thief. It's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything after all. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was in the But according to Mr. Faith's note, hold on, I thought we already cleared that. Didn't we say that Jim left that note for me in the early evening? You have proof that he left it at a different time. Hey, just before he was murdered. I don't have any, no. You see, so I insist again. I was in my office the entire time. What is the note? And when Jim came to deliver the evidence to me, I was down at criminal affairs. Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith? That's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know those sofas in the hallway, he likes to sleep on those, it's one of his habits. And what of the evidence he brought? There were things related to yesterday's case, just 2 items, a gun and a pendant. Interesting, this piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the crack. Yep. Calling him out because in this it says he brought the 3 pieces.
Objection!
He says he brought the 3 pieces, only 2 pieces? I believe the proper phrase here is you fail. You fail! Excuse me? You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Forceman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you. Well, here's a piece I think you should read carefully. It says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Forceman. I can't believe to get tripped up by my simple arithmetic. Where is the missing piece of evidence? It's... You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe. You don't have to say so, I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. Headshot! Well, don't come any closer, I'm warning you. This is all part of the investigation, pal, so don't even think about stopping me. No! Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something. But why would he hide something like that? There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail for the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin. Okay, 1 is the KG8 incident. The KG8 incident. That's a police case number, sir. Does that mean this video is evidence from that case? Interesting. However, what's recorded on this isn't what's important right now. Let's give the casing a thorough once-over. The blood on the back. Ah, that's blood, isn't it? Yes, I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood? No, you've got it all wrong. Well, none of the denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video. Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his person when you killed him? You know very well there's no way to prove that. Not even if you were to examine this tape for fingerprints. Yeah. Headshot. If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith. No, impossible. I'm eating a... I just ate solid gold. No wonder why he passes out. He just ate solid gold. Unless if what I said earlier was true, that medal was actually a chocolate bar. It was a chocolate medal. Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir. Very good. And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on that. And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well. Thank you so much, very much. Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. Oh, it was nothing, really. Compared to what I've been through, I mean, I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder at this time, so if it had been a hold-up or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from the goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person. Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. And why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard that there was a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir. Forged evidence, huh? And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reason. Oh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession. We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office. Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up. Although we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something. This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh, well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this. Ah, that Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy? I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance to this piece of evidence.
Take that!
This file. The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night. Yeah, I wonder who it was, and what happened to the stolen pages. I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Yes? I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir. This card. What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It is the mark of the raven, a three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? That great thief everyone's talking about. Yes, it is. The mark of the great thief. Yatagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end of modern Robin Hood. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu... I'm just gonna call him Robin. Actually, no. We'll keep it. Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is also performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it has been a while since Yatagarasu's last appearance. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look, something written on the back. What? Let me see. It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files. So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu. Organization. Quite a few key words are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. But they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. The end. Alrighty. Oh man. Oh, my back. Oh, that is the end of chapter 1. Turnabout Visitor. Oh, nice. Right. Oh, that is the ending. That is the ending of, what's it called? That is the ending of Ace Attorney Investigations Collection Episode 1, Turnabout Visitor. That was actually pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. That was very interesting. It was a new way of being a detective, and it's the fact that we're still a prosecutor as well. We didn't even go to court, we just prosecuted him right on the spot. But, other than that, what's it called? Where am I going with this? It was really fun. If you enjoyed the... I'm probably ending. This is going to be David the Gamer signing off. If you enjoyed the content that you like, make sure that you follow my Twitch, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you liked it. If you made it to the end of this, you're a champ. If you didn't and you watched parts of it, you're still a champ. But other than that, guys, as I said before, this is me signing off for this one. Have a blast, stay gaming, and peace out.